Did you know that nearly 70% of older adults express a strong preference for aging in the familiar surroundings of their own homes, rather than moving into a nursing home? Even though many believe that such a choice may sometimes appear to be the only option available, many seniors have long held the conviction that remaining in a comfortable and well-known environment plays an essential role in maintaining overall happiness and well-being, and that the sense of security provided by one's own home cannot be replicated in an institutional setting. Nursing homes, while established with the noble intention of offering care and support, are often accompanied by high costs, a tendency toward isolation, and frequently fail to deliver the level of personal satisfaction or emotional contentment that many seniors so deeply desire. The encouraging news is that there are now a variety of better alternatives available that not only come at a more affordable price, but also have the potential to pave the way toward a happier and more fulfilling life, one in which seniors are free to choose whether they wish to remain in their own home, live with family members, or become part of a supportive community that understands and meets their unique needs. In this comprehensive narrative, we shall explore 6 viable alternatives that have been designed with the intention of promoting independence, emotional well-being, and a sense of belonging, all while addressing concerns over escalating expenses and the possibility of social isolation. It is important to note that the final solution we discuss has surprised most people with its unexpected advantages, and its merits have resonated with a wide array of individuals who, like many others, never imagined that such an option might be available to them. If you find the content of this presentation to be useful, please feel free to show your support by liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more practical advice on aging gracefully and living well. In our story, we meet Diane, a 72-year-old retired educator who dedicated most of her life to helping others and inspiring countless students to reach for their dreams. Diane, who had always been known for her compassion and selflessness, suddenly found herself in a situation where she felt completely overwhelmed when a health scare struck unexpectedly. Her doctors, deeply concerned about the rapid decline in her physical condition, recommended that she consider moving into a nursing home, a suggestion that immediately filled her with apprehension and sorrow. At the same time, her family, who had always been supportive, expressed their own worries about the possibility of her living alone, especially given the rising costs associated with quality care and the inherent risks of isolation. The prospect of losing her cherished independence, which Diane had worked so hard to preserve throughout her life, was terrifying. She could not bear the thought of becoming an additional burden on her loved ones, and for a long while she believed that a nursing home was the only viable option available to her. However, with the passage of time and a measure of thoughtful research, Diane discovered that there were in fact better alternatives available, alternatives that allowed her to remain independent, stay socially connected, and continue enjoying life without depleting her hard-earned savings. With the right support and a commitment to exploring all possibilities, Diane eventually found a solution that not only met her needs, but also provided her with the opportunity to live more happily and more fully than she had ever imagined possible. What is perhaps most inspiring about Diane's journey is that by the end of her exploration, she was able to avoid the conventional path of a nursing home entirely and instead embraced a solution that was both more affordable and far more aligned with her personal values. This final option, which many people tend to overlook initially, could very well be the perfect fit for anyone in a similar situation. Consider, for instance, the idea of remaining in the comfort and safety of your own home, provided that it is suitably adapted to address the inevitable challenges that may arise with advancing age. For many seniors, the answer to whether they would prefer to stay in their homes, if they could be made safe and comfortable, is an emphatic yes. In fact, numerous studies indicate that nearly 90% of older adults would choose to age in place if given the opportunity, despite the reality that many harbor fears concerning mobility issues, safety hazards, or the potential inability to manage everyday tasks independently as they grow older. The promising news is that with just a few well-considered modifications, aging in place can be made both safe and affordable, thereby eliminating the need to resort to the high costs and potential drawbacks of a nursing home environment. Diane, our 72-year-old retired educator, experienced these challenges firsthand following her unexpected health scare. She found herself deeply worried about the possibility of falls, the difficulties inherent in managing household chores on her own, and the ever-looming concern of how she might receive prompt assistance in an emergency situation. Yet, instead of choosing the costly and often impersonal route of a nursing facility, Diane decided to make some simple, yet life-changing upgrades to her home. These modifications, though seemingly small at first glance, had a profoundly positive impact on her quality of life. One of the first steps Diane took was to install grab bars in her bathroom and along the hallways of her home, recognizing that falls are among the leading causes of injury for seniors. These grab bars provided her with much-needed stability in those critical areas, thereby reducing the risk of accidents. In addition to this, she replaced her existing flooring with non-slip options, particularly in areas such as staircases, where the danger of falling is most acute. Although many seniors opt for the installation of stair lifts or ramps to facilitate safer movement between floors, Diane did not feel the need for these solutions at that moment. Instead, she wisely chose to keep the option available for the future, should her mobility change in the years to come. Another major improvement in her home was the installation of motion-activated lighting in key areas such as hallways, bedrooms, and bathrooms. These innovative lights eliminated the need for her to fumble for switches during the night, significantly reducing the risk of tripping or falling in the dark. The advent of smart home technology has further revolutionized the way in which daily tasks can be managed by seniors, and Diane took full advantage of this development by incorporating features such as voice-activated lighting, programmable thermostats, and even smart door locks into her home setup. Such advancements have not only made daily life considerably easier for those with limited mobility, but have also contributed greatly to a sense of security and independence. One of Diane's most pressing concerns was the possibility of encountering an emergency while she was alone, a thought that understandably caused her a great deal of anxiety. To address this, she invested in a reliable medical alert system, a small portable device that she could wear at all times. With the simple press of a button, this device was capable of immediately calling for help and connecting her directly to emergency services or even to a trusted family member, thereby ensuring that assistance would always be within reach. In addition to the alert system, Diane also opted to install a video doorbell and several smart security cameras around her property. These devices not only enabled her to see who was at her door without the need to physically get up, but also provided an added layer of protection against potential scams or unwelcome visitors. Despite the common assumption among many seniors that moving into a facility is the only option when assistance is required, Diane discovered that hiring part-time help could offer a far more affordable and flexible solution. After all, there is a growing trend in which many older adults are choosing to remain in their homes by supplementing their daily routines with the services of a local caregiver. Diane, for example, found a caregiver in her area who was willing to visit her home twice a week to help with tasks such as light housekeeping, meal preparation, and grocery shopping. This modest investment in part-time assistance made an enormous difference in her ability to maintain her independence. And in many areas, seniors can also qualify for additional home care services through programs such as Medicaid or local nonprofit organizations, thereby further reducing overall costs. Thanks to these modifications and supports, Diane was able to remain in the home that she loved, surrounded by familiar memories and comfort, without having to confront the overwhelming financial burden and emotional drawbacks commonly associated with a nursing home. It is worth noting that she is by no means an isolated case. In fact, millions of seniors are successfully aging in place by combining smart home upgrades with part-time support services. Nevertheless, for some individuals, the need for more frequent assistance, or simply the desire to avoid living alone, might necessitate exploring alternative options that incorporate built-in social support. One such alternative, which has been steadily growing in popularity, is senior co-housing. In this alternative arrangement, older adults have the opportunity to live in private homes or apartments that are part of a shared community, allowing them to enjoy the benefits of both independence and companionship simultaneously. Unlike traditional retirement homes or assisted living facilities, Co-housing is specifically designed for active seniors who are not only keen on maintaining their independence, but also on fostering social connections, sharing resources, and cultivating a sense of belonging without being subjected to the often strict rules and high costs associated with more institutional settings. Diane, the retired educator who had once been overwhelmed by the prospect of a nursing home, found herself drawn to the idea of senior co-housing after her health scare had left her feeling increasingly isolated. Her children, who resided in different states, were unable to provide the constant in-person support that she needed, and although aging in place was a viable option, she worried about the eventual challenges of managing daily tasks on her own. It was at this juncture that Diane discovered the concept of senior co-housing, a unique living arrangement that offered the best of both worlds. In a co-housing community, she was able to secure her own private space, such as a cozy one-bedroom apartment complete with a small garden that she cherished dearly, while also enjoying access to shared common areas such as a dining hall, a fitness center, and a comfortable lounge where residents would gather on a daily basis. Each week, the residents of the community would come together to cook meals, organize various social activities, and assist one another with everyday tasks, creating a naturally supportive network. For instance, if Diane ever needed a ride to a doctor's appointment, a neighbor was readily available to offer assistance, and if another resident required help with grocery shopping, someone else in the community would gladly pitch in. This sense of community not only transformed Diane's life by alleviating feelings of isolation, but it also provided her with the freedom to participate in a range of activities while still preserving her privacy. One of the most attractive aspects of senior co-housing is its affordability, particularly when compared to the astronomical monthly costs of nursing homes or assisted living facilities, which can run into thousands of dollars. In contrast, co-housing arrangements typically enable seniors to share expenses such as utilities, maintenance costs, and even groceries, significantly lowering the overall financial burden. In some cases, communities even operate on a cooperative model, wherein residents either own or rent their individual spaces while collectively managing the property, thereby making the entire arrangement far more cost-effective than traditional senior housing options. For Diane, the monthly expenses associated with co-housing were approximately half of what she would have been expected to pay in a nursing home, as she paid only for her private apartment and contributed to the costs of shared services. Moreover, she did not have to worry about unexpected fees associated with medical facilities or the loss of control over her daily routine. Loneliness, a factor that has been linked to serious health risks such as heart disease and depression among seniors, is effectively addressed by the inherent social structure of co-housing. Every morning, Diane had the option to enjoy a cup of coffee with her neighbors or simply to spend quiet time in her own private space, with the flexibility to engage as much or as little as she desired. This arrangement was a marked contrast to the highly structured schedule typically imposed in nursing homes. Within the community, residents would host movie nights, book clubs, group exercise sessions such as yoga or walking clubs, game nights, and even holiday celebrations, all of which contributed to making Diane feel happier, healthier, and more active, all while retaining her cherished sense of independence. For individuals who wish to maintain their autonomy yet appreciate regular social interaction, the cost-effective alternative provided by senior co-housing offers a particularly attractive solution. If you find the idea of neighbors coming together in a supportive environment appealing, then co-housing may very well be the perfect option for you. Another alternative that many seniors consider, despite its emotional complexities, is moving in with family members. Although the idea of residing with one's own family might seem like the most logical and natural solution, it can also be one of the most emotionally challenging choices available. It is not uncommon for older adults to worry that moving in with family might result in a loss of their independence, disrupt the daily lives of their children, or even create a sense of being a burden on those they love so dearly. These concerns are completely valid, and for many, the emotional implications of such a decision can be overwhelming. However, with a thoughtful and well-planned approach, living with family can turn out to be both a rewarding and practical solution, offering significant emotional and financial benefits. In our narrative, we also meet Mark, a 74-year-old retired mechanic who found himself in a predicament similar to that of Diane. After the passing of his wife, Mark was gripped by feelings of loneliness and faced the mounting expenses associated with maintaining his home on his own. Recognizing that the challenges he was experiencing were becoming increasingly unmanageable, his daughter Laura extended an invitation for him to move in with her. Mark, however, was initially hesitant. He was deeply concerned about the possibility of interfering with his daughter's busy life, or worse yet, feeling like an unwelcome obligation. Rather than refusing the offer outright, Mark and Laura engaged in clear, open communication to work out a plan that would allow him to preserve his independence while still benefiting from the proximity and support of his family. Their solution involved creating a separate living space within the family home, one that offered Mark all the privacy he needed while ensuring that he was still close enough to be a part of daily family life. In some households, such arrangements might involve converting a garage into a small apartment, designing an in-law suite, or even constructing a basement apartment or a tiny home on the property. Financial considerations also played an important role in this arrangement, as Mark was encouraged to contribute to household expenses, covering a portion of the utilities and groceries. This approach fostered a sense of partnership rather than one-sided dependency. In addition to the financial benefits, Mark found renewed purpose by engaging in activities that allowed him to contribute meaningfully to the family, such as picking up his grandchildren from school and sharing his life experiences with them. He even took on some light household tasks, which not only helped ease the workload for everyone else, but also made him feel valued and respected rather than merely a guest in someone else's home. Such measures enabled Mark to retain his independence, contribute actively to the household, and maintain a sense of dignity. Moreover, beyond the emotional advantages of living with family, there are substantial financial incentives as well. The lower living costs that result from sharing a household can be significant, especially when compared to the exorbitant fees associated with nursing homes or assisted living facilities. Many families find that by pooling resources and sharing caregiving responsibilities, they can save a great deal of money while also fostering stronger intergenerational bonds. In some cases, there may even be potential tax benefits available, with certain families qualifying for deductions or government assistance programs designed to support the care of aging parents. Mark's decision to move in with his daughter not only provided him with the emotional security he desperately needed, but also saved him thousands of dollars each year, a financial relief that proved to be just as valuable as the emotional support. If you are open to the idea of living with family, it is essential to initiate the conversation early and work together to establish clear boundaries, agree on schedules, and designate personal spaces that honor the independence of each individual. Such proactive measures can prevent potential conflicts and ensure that the living arrangement remains mutually beneficial. For many seniors, living with family is not merely a practical necessity, but a deeply fulfilling way to maintain independence, stay socially engaged, and find renewed purpose through the simple act of being part of a loving household. Yet another alternative that some seniors consider, particularly when family is not nearby or when the desire for continued independence remains paramount, is to explore arrangements that allow for home sharing with a companion. This option can provide a life-changing alternative to nursing homes by offering care, companionship, and financial relief in a setting that enables one to remain in the comfort of one's own home. After her own health scare, Diane recognized that while she deeply valued her independence, she also needed occasional assistance in managing daily tasks. Instead of accepting the isolating and expensive route of a nursing home, she discovered two innovative solutions: adult foster care and home sharing programs for seniors who require support with everyday activities but do not necessarily need full-time care in a large facility. Adult foster care, for example, offers a family-like environment at a fraction of the cost typically associated with institutional settings. In such arrangements, seniors are able to live in private homes under the care of licensed caregivers who provide assistance with daily activities such as bathing, dressing, medication reminders, and meal preparation. The intimate, supportive environment in an adult foster care setting often leads to a level of social interaction and personalized attention that many find far more comforting than the impersonal nature of larger facilities. Diane's neighbor Susan discovered an adult foster care home where she was provided with her own room and was surrounded by friendly caregivers and a small group of fellow seniors who quickly became like family. The overall experience was not only less isolating, but also significantly more affordable and emotionally fulfilling compared to the costs and constraints of a large nursing facility. In many states, there are even financial assistance programs available for adult foster care through Medicaid, which makes this option accessible to those who are living on a fixed income. Another innovative alternative is the concept of home sharing, whereby seniors offer a spare room in their home to a younger individual in exchange for rent, companionship, or assistance with daily tasks. Diane's friend Lisa, for instance, had been living alone in a large house ever since the passing of her husband. Feeling uneasy about the prospect of facing life on her own, Lisa decided to join a home sharing program and was matched with Olivia, a college student in search of affordable housing. Through this arrangement, Lisa not only gained much-needed companionship, but also received occasional help with tasks such as grocery shopping and light cleaning. In return, Olivia was able to secure safe, affordable housing at a cost that was significantly lower than the prevailing market rates. Both parties benefited from the arrangement, as it led to the formation of a genuine friendship and provided mutual support in various aspects of daily living. Many nonprofit organizations and local agencies now offer home sharing programs that carefully match seniors with trustworthy, background-checked roommates, ensuring that the arrangement is safe and mutually advantageous. Home sharing, as an alternative to nursing homes, offers seniors the opportunity to age in place while remaining socially connected, all without the financial and emotional burdens typically associated with institutional care. For seniors who need some assistance but do not require full-time nursing services, home sharing represents a truly compelling option that prioritizes both independence and human connection. A further alternative that has gained popularity among older adults seeking both structure and social support is the concept of independent living within a 55-plus community. Imagine waking up each day in your own private home, stepping outside to greet friendly neighbors, and having access to a variety of social activities, fitness classes, and maintenance-free living, all without being confined by the rigid structure of a nursing home. This is precisely what independent living communities and 55-plus neighborhoods have to offer. Diane, who had always prided herself on her active and sociable nature, found that after her health scare, managing her home alone had become increasingly challenging. Although she did not require constant daily medical care, she also did not want to suffer the isolation and upkeep burdens that often accompany living alone. It was at this juncture that Diane discovered a 55-plus community that would completely change her life. Unlike nursing homes or assisted living facilities, these communities are designed specifically for active, independent seniors who desire a vibrant lifestyle without the responsibilities of home maintenance. Diane moved into a cozy apartment within one such community, where she enjoyed the privacy of her own living space while still having access to an array of social opportunities. Within the community, there were options ranging from apartments and condominiums to small homes, each of which was designed to cater to the needs and preferences of the residents. In addition to the private living spaces, residents had access to on-site amenities such as swimming pools, fitness centers, walking trails, and organized social activities, including book clubs, game nights, and group outings. One of the greatest advantages of living in a 55-plus community is the maintenance-free aspect. Residents no longer need to worry about yard work, home repairs, or other tedious tasks, which allows them to focus entirely on enjoying their daily lives. Many of these communities also offer options for emergency assistance. While help is available if something unexpected occurs, it is not imposed on the residents, thereby preserving their independence. Diane particularly appreciated knowing that if she ever needed medical assistance, it was just a short distance away, providing her with both comfort and reassurance. Moreover, transportation services were often provided within these communities, making it easy for seniors to attend doctor's appointments, run errands, or participate in local events without relying on family members or public transportation. Perhaps the most significant benefit of living in a 55-plus community was the built-in social life it offered. Diane no longer felt lonely, as she was surrounded by a group of active friends who shared her interests and values. Whether it was a morning yoga class, a community barbecue, or a day trip to a local museum, there was always something engaging to do. This ready-made social network not only enriched her daily life, but also contributed significantly to her overall sense of well-being. For those who wish to live independently, yet avoid the isolation that can sometimes accompany solo living, the option of independent living in a 55-plus community represents a truly attractive and viable alternative to the traditional nursing home setting. Another innovative solution that has emerged in recent years is the integration of at-home care with modern technology and community services. What if you could remain in the comfort of your own home while still receiving the care and support you need, all without incurring the high costs associated with a nursing home? This is precisely the promise offered by at-home care programs that combine part-time caregiving with telehealth services and other technological advancements. Diane explored all of her available options and ultimately discovered a balanced solution that allowed her to maintain her independence while receiving the occasional help she required. By employing a mix of part-time home care and innovative technological support services, Diane was able to build a system that was tailored specifically to her needs. For instance, she hired a home health aide for just a few hours each day to help with cooking, cleaning, and personal care, thus ensuring that she received the necessary assistance without having to commit to the full-time costs associated with a facility. Many seniors are eligible for Medicaid waivers or other community-based programs that help offset the costs of in-home care, and Diane was able to take full advantage of these resources. In addition to the in-person care provided by her part-time caregiver, Diane also made extensive use of telehealth services, which allowed her to consult with her doctor via virtual appointments and monitor her health remotely through advanced medical devices. These telehealth services not only reduced the need for frequent trips to the clinic or hospital, but also helped keep healthcare expenses in check. Meal delivery programs, such as those offered by Meals on Wheels, further simplified Diane's daily routine by ensuring that she received nutritious meals without the hassle of cooking, while grocery and prescription delivery services allowed her to have essential supplies brought directly to her doorstep. In order to safeguard her well-being, Diane invested in several simple yet effective home upgrades, including a reliable medical alert system that enabled her to call for help with the press of a button should she experience a fall or any other emergency. She also incorporated smart home devices, such as voice-controlled assistants, that allowed her to easily turn on lights, adjust the thermostat, or even call family members without having to leave her seat. This integration of technology with traditional caregiving services not only enhanced Diane's safety and independence, but also significantly improved her overall quality of life. It is important to note that many seniors share the common misconception that hiring help at home is prohibitively expensive. In reality, for many, it turns out to be a far more affordable and flexible option than moving into a full-time care facility. With the help of Medicaid's home and community-based services, HCBS waivers, veterans benefits for eligible individuals, and various local senior programs offering low-cost or even free support services, many older adults are discovering that at-home care can provide both the assistance they need and the freedom they desire. By combining part-time caregiving with technological solutions, Diane was able to maintain her cherished independence while staying connected to her family and community, and she proved that a high quality of life can be achieved without resorting to the conventional and often expensive option of a nursing home. Diane's journey, from initially believing that a nursing home was her only available option to ultimately discovering a wide range of alternatives that allowed her to remain independent, happy, and financially secure, serves as an inspiring testament to the fact that aging does not have to be synonymous with limitations. Whether it is through aging in place with carefully chosen home modifications, joining a senior co-housing community that provides both privacy and social interaction, moving in with family members while maintaining clear boundaries, opting for adult foster care or home sharing programs, embracing the active lifestyle offered by 55-plus communities, or integrating at-home care with cutting-edge technology, there is no shortage of options available to seniors who are determined to live their lives on their own terms. The choices that Diane made were not only guided by a deep commitment to preserving her independence, but also by a desire to ensure that her later years would be filled with dignity, joy, and a sense of purpose. She refused to accept the notion that the rising costs, fear of isolation, and potential loss of independence were inevitable, and instead took proactive steps to explore every alternative before her. As a result, she was able to craft a life that was tailored to her individual needs, preferences, and budget. In reflecting upon Diane's experience, it becomes clear that aging should be about choices and opportunities, rather than limitations and compromises. Each of the alternatives she explored offers its own unique set of benefits, yet they all share a common thread: the emphasis on preserving the quality of life, maintaining social connections, and ensuring that seniors have access to the care and support they need without having to sacrifice their independence or financial security. Whether you are inclined to remain in your own home, join a community that offers built-in social support, live with family members in a way that respects your autonomy, or embrace modern at-home care solutions that integrate technology and community services, the key is to start by researching your options, discussing your concerns with loved ones, and developing a plan that reflects your priorities as you age. It is important to recognize that the journey toward finding the ideal living arrangement in later life is deeply personal, and what works for one individual may not be the best solution for another. However, by remaining open-minded and exploring the full range of alternatives available, many seniors are finding that there is no single path to aging well. Diane's story serves as a powerful reminder that, with determination, proper planning, and the willingness to consider innovative solutions, it is possible to build a life that is both fulfilling and sustainable, even in the face of the challenges that come with aging. Every option discussed here, from home modifications and part-time caregiving to senior co-housing and independent living communities, offers a distinct approach to addressing the multifaceted concerns of aging, and together they form a comprehensive tapestry of choices that empower seniors to live with dignity, joy, and financial peace of mind. By taking control of the decisions that affect their later years, seniors like Diane, Mark, and their families are demonstrating that the concept of aging does not have to be defined by confinement, isolation, or high costs. Instead, these alternatives highlight the possibility of a vibrant, active, and connected life, one in which older adults can continue to pursue their passions, nurture meaningful relationships, and enjoy the freedom to live according to their own values and desires. The good news is that, as demonstrated by these real-life examples, there is always a way to make choices that promote both independence and happiness, even when conventional options seem daunting or insufficient. Ultimately, the key takeaway from these diverse yet interconnected stories is that aging should be a time of opportunity, a period in which individuals are encouraged to explore all available options, weigh the benefits and challenges of each, and choose a path that best aligns with their personal vision for a fulfilling life. The alternatives discussed in this narrative serve not only as practical solutions to the financial and emotional challenges often associated with aging, but also as a testament to the resilience and creativity that so many older adults exhibit when faced with difficult choices. As you consider your own future or that of a loved one, remember that the path to a happy, independent, and secure later life is not predetermined by a single option, such as a nursing home. Rather, it is shaped by the willingness to embrace new ideas, invest in one's own well-being, and seek out the support systems that make it possible to continue living life on one's own terms. In every phase of this journey, the emphasis remains on creating an environment that is safe, supportive, and conducive to personal growth, while also addressing the practical realities of aging in today's world. From the strategic modifications that make aging in place not only possible but also enjoyable, to the innovative models of shared living that foster genuine community spirit, each alternative represents a viable pathway to a life that is as rich, rewarding, and dignified as any other stage of life can be. Diane's experience in particular serves as a vivid illustration of how careful planning, the adoption of modern technology, and a willingness to consider unconventional solutions can come together to form a comprehensive approach to aging well. One that prioritizes both financial stability and emotional fulfillment. As you reflect on the possibilities presented in this discussion, consider the many ways in which these alternatives might align with your own values and aspirations for the future. Perhaps you see the appeal of remaining in your own home with a few smart modifications, or you are drawn to the sense of community and shared responsibility that comes with senior co-housing. Maybe the prospect of living with family while preserving clear personal boundaries resonates with you. Or you find the idea of integrating at-home care with modern technology to be both innovative and reassuring. Whatever your personal preferences may be, it is clear that the options available today are far more diverse and empowering than ever before. The journey toward a fulfilling, independent, and joyful later life is not dictated by limitations or a lack of choice. Rather, it is defined by the many paths available to those who are willing to explore, adapt, and embrace new solutions. Diane's story, along with those of Mark, Laura, Susan, Lisa, and Olivia, stands as a testament to the fact that aging can be a period of reinvention, opportunity, and continued growth. With thoughtful planning, open communication, and a willingness to seek out alternatives that align with one's unique needs and circumstances, it is possible to build a life that is not only sustainable and secure, but also imbued with the warmth, connection, and freedom that every individual deserves. In conclusion, the alternatives to a traditional nursing home setting, ranging from aging in place with smart home modifications and part-time caregiving, to senior co-housing, living with family under carefully structured arrangements, to adult foster care, home sharing programs, independent living in 55-plus communities, and at-home care integrated with modern technology, collectively offer a diverse palette of choices for those who wish to live their later years with dignity, joy, and financial security. Each option carries its own distinct advantages, yet they all share the common goal of empowering seniors to live life on their own terms. It is my hope that by sharing these comprehensive and detailed accounts, you will be encouraged to explore the myriad possibilities that exist and find a solution that not only meets your practical needs, but also enriches your life in every possible way. As you move forward, remember that aging is not synonymous with limitations, and that every individual deserves to experience a life filled with happiness, connection, and freedom. The alternatives presented here have the power to transform lives, offering hope and practical solutions for those who might otherwise feel cornered by the prospect of expensive, isolating care facilities. May the stories and insights shared in this narrative inspire you to take charge of your future, explore the many avenues available to you, and ultimately craft a path that reflects your unique desires and aspirations for a life well lived.